Most traders think that the next chart, the next signal, the next data set is what will finally make their strategy work. But let's be honest, after a point, more data doesn't necessarily make you more accurate. In fact, it might just make you more confident in a losing path. And confidence without accuracy is how most accounts shrivel up and disappear. So let's talk about the mental traps traders fall into to increase their confidence but lose sight of accuracy. We'll apply it to 0DTE trading, and I'll share a couple frameworks for sidestepping these traps. Confidence is not an edge. I'm Mark Anderson, former construction worker turned 0DTE hedge fund manager. I trade systematic strategies across thousands of trading days in a row and have sold over $100 million in 0DTE premium. I spend a lot of time separating real edges from noise in pretty looking charts. There's a classic study with professional horse handicappers, someone who studies a race, past performances, speed figures, track conditions, jockey and trainer stats to predict which horse is most likely to win or offer good betting value. They ranked 88 data points by importance. Then they tried to predict the races with 5 data points, then 10, then 20, then 40. You'd expect that more information would improve the accuracy. It didn't. Accuracy stayed the same throughout all conditions. What changed was the confidence of overall performances. The more information the handicappers saw, the more certain they felt without actually getting better. But they placed more and more outsized bets, resulting in worse actual results with more subsequent data. Investors and traders do the exact same thing. We add indicators, we scroll through more news, we overload dashboards, and yet, even though our accuracy doesn't move, our confidence skyrockets. This gets dangerous in markets, and it shows up in a few ways. You add 5 or more filters to a backtest, the curve looks smoother, you feel smarter, and live results don't improve. You scan Twitter and research portals all morning, and you feel informed of your decisions that don't actually get sharper, just quicker. You check your P&L every 5 minutes. You feel in control. You end up micromanaging your strategy that needed room to breathe. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken, you're human. Let's name the mental traps so you can spot them as they occur. These are the ways you can get tripped up and trick yourself into moving forward when maybe you shouldn't. Overconfidence, the big one. When information volume goes up, our certainty goes up. Even if our hit rate doesn't change, why a 55% system gets treated like a 90% system after all we did was add 3 more inputs. Confirmation bias. We tend to search for data that agrees with our initial idea. If I want to sell premium today, I can always find a thread or chart or some stat that whispers, see, do it, do it. Anchoring. First numbers stick. If you first read on the day the market is weak, you'll keep comparing new data to that and anchor that, even if conditions have shifted over the course of the day. Recency biased. What's just happened feels like what will keep happening. 3 red candles in a row, it feels like the 4th is guaranteed. We overweight the freshest data point versus all the data points. Myopic loss aversion. Checking too often makes normal variability feel like danger. You get overly conservative or you bail on a good strategy because you've zoomed in so tight, every wiggle looks like a regime change. Illusion of control. If I'm looking at more screens and clicking more buttons, I must be improving the outcome. No, you're just increasing variance and transaction cost. Overconfidence, confirmation bias, anchoring, recency bias, and myopic loss aversion. These are all illusions of control. Take 0DT options. There are endless inputs you can consider: implied volatility, realized volatility, the term structure, skew, order book depth, market internals, opening imbalances, economic releases, and cross-asset signals. Here's what typically happens. A trader starts with a simple, decent rule set. Start with trading the simplest thesis behind why the trade works, volatility risk premium being the basis of what your trade works and why it works. When buying premium, the basis is trend observed over a long time frame and back-tested data. Size small and keep your max loss bounded so you can continue to trade keeping your emotional bias out of the game to realize your expected return. It works. Okay. Then the data hunt begins. They add 10 filters, the backtest looks cleaner, and live trading they hesitate from signal conflict, or they cram in more trades because the green lights are everywhere. Net result, no improvement in edge, more slippage, more over management, and more stress. Think about a coin that lands on heads 53% of the time, a very small edge. If you observe one toss at a time, you'll get emotional. Heads, tails, tails, it's broken. If you observe in blocks of 100, the noise calms down and 53% shows up, adding more commentary about each flip, wind speed, moon phase, what your favorite guru thinks, won't move the 53%. It just makes you feel like there's a pattern. But Mark, I thought research is good. Is it up to the point where added data doesn't reduce uncertainty in a decision relevant way? The test I use is simple. Does this input change my position size, my entry time, or my selection meaningfully and consistently? Or does it just change my comfort level? If it only changes my comfort, it's noise. I need to see clear, observable patterns of performance improvement. Here's an example of a backtest filter that is strong, steady, and improves as the signal strength increases. It does not just magically work between a 15.5 and 18 VIX. Here's the framework I use to keep data helpful instead of harmful. I call it simple. It's how I design and run 0DT strategies in my shop. S. Specify the decision. Before you pull the data, write exact decisions in one sentence. Enter a short premium position on SPX at the open if liquidity and volatility conditions meet X and Y. Otherwise, stay down. Vague decisions invite infinite data. I. Identify the few critical inputs. Pick 3 to 5 that truly move the outcome. For 0DT, that might be current IV versus the 20-day realized IV, the bid-ask spread threshold, minimum distance from the short strike to the money, time window for the entry, and a higher level market regime like trend, chop, or down markets. M. Make rules you'll obey by under stress. Rules must survive adrenaline, max loss, position size. When you do not trade news releases, spreads are over X, liquidity below Y. If you won't follow it on a volatile Thursday, it's not a rule, it's a wish. P. Pre-commit the review window. Decide how often you'll look. Intraday for risk only, performance weekly, strategy changes monthly or quarterly. This fights myopic loss aversion. L. Limit discretionary overrides. Allow, say, 1 override per month, written down with a reason. If override becomes a norm, you don't have a system, you have vibes. E. Eliminate comfort data. Anything that doesn't alter sizing, entries, or selection gets booted from the live dashboard. You can analyze it offline later. During trading, it's either a control input or it's clutter. Simple. Specify, identify, make rules, pre-commit, limit overrides, eliminate comfort data. Right before I trade, I run a quick mental checklist. 1. What would make me overconfident today? Big green backtest, a hot streak, name it so it becomes less powerful. 2. What am I anchored to currently? Yesterday was a trend down, so today must be. Maybe it's not a rule. 3. What just happened that I'm overweighting? That's recency bias. 4. Am I checking P&L more than my plan? That's myopic loss aversion. 5. What control do I actually have? Entry window, size, stop loss, max loss, not the outcome of any single trade. I say this out loud. It takes 30 seconds or so, but it saves me from hours of regrets. The handicapper's fallacy seduces smart people. You can drown in the data and still miss the edge. Real progress comes from fewer decision-relevant inputs, rules that survive stress, and review cadence that keeps you with yanking the wheel. If you want to trade like a professional, build a process that protects you from your own brain. If you found this useful, subscribe and drop a comment below with one comfort data point you're going to remove from your screen this week so you can improve your trading. I'll see you guys in the next one.